Day 5's over. NBL and NBA Summer League. We've got the crew back, and you're probably wondering why, well, I'm more dressed up than everybody else, but it's Aussie Hoops Night here in Vegas, which has become a bit of a tradition, hosted by Daniel Moldovan of Octagon. Looking forward to catching up with all the Aussies in town. And Liam, I'm going to start with you. Day 5 is done, but honestly, Olgun and I have been wondering, all the fans back home, where have you been? Are you working? Are you enjoying this trip? What is going on?
I'm doing a combination of both of those things. Yeah. Haven't been with you guys the last couple of nights. Overtime Elite event 2 nights ago, WME party last night, and there's lots going on. There's lots going on the court, there's lots going on off the court, at the arena, elsewhere around Vegas, and NBL people are involved in all of it.
Sounds like some free dinners are coming that way. We're going to wrap the day because there's a couple of big performances, but there's no bigger news.
If we're going to wrap the day...
Yeah, there's no bigger news.
No. If we're going to wrap the day, how are you going to not tell the people you got arrested at the arena today?
Didn't get arrested. I got basically detained because people are being fraudulent with their credentials. I told Liam as we walked in I need a special hologram. Liam played it down. I walked in to go and do my interviews, which I'm hustling to do. Big security guard grabbed me, took me out the back, and I blame Liam completely. Wasn't even rattled once.
Behave yourself. Don't get involved with the security people. Represent.
I'm doing my best out here, but we talk about big news. That was probably bigger than we're about to get to. But Olgun, the NBL, I mean, everything exploded recently. The news has broke. Let us know about it.
Jalen Adams is heading back to the Sydney Kings. Now, signings really don't get much bigger than this, do they? He was the best player in the league when he was here in NBL 22, was the MVP in NBL 22, helped them to a title. I mean, he's someone who the Kings have been engaged with basically ever since he left. They really never stopped engaging with him when they were looking to fill that import 1 and 2 spot. The way teams work is, one of them you want a really solid guy, and the other one you can maybe take a little gamble on a high risk but high reward guy. This is that solid guy. This is someone who is proven in the NBL. You know exactly what he's going to bring and what he brings. Liam, you covered this more than I did during that season. He was the best player in the league, right?
Best player in the league. And when you say that in a competition that has Bryce Cotton in it, at the peak of his powers, that says a hell of a lot. We all watched what he did that season, took the Kings to the championship. Injured in the grand final series, others stepped up, but was a force to be reckoned with all year long. So excited to have him back in the league. The word solid, I mean, you're right, because they know what they're going to get, but he's also spectacular and just comes in at a really, really elite level, and it's just unbelievable to have him back in the league.
One of the best elite closers in the league, no doubt, Bryce Cotton you mentioned, and not only the biggest sign in the drop, you put it out there, New Zealand Breakers getting a local big name back in the Breakers uniform.
Yeah, that's right. Finn Delany is heading back to the New Zealand Breakers. Now, again, someone who, since he left the Breakers, they haven't stopped engaging with him. He's been in Germany playing for Bonn. Throughout that entire time, the Breakers have always just been prodding at Finn Delany. They wanted someone to fill that position. We know how important that 4 spot is. We talk about it all the time, how important someone really solid in that position is. Finn Delany is exactly that guy. And I think it's important to note that Finn Delany had offers on the table, really significant offers, but he wanted to head back to New Zealand, and the Breakers got it done. Credit to Modi Mayor and that team.
Yeah, I chatted to Modi Mayor today. He actually said Finn Delany initiated the conversation. That's how badly he wanted to get back to the Breakers. But we talk about local talent. I've got Will McDowell-White, one of the best, if not my best local talent, point guard wise for sure. Now they bring Finn Delany back, huge for the Breakers.
So good. Finn Diesel, so good. 7 years in the NBL. Goes to Europe, wanted to kind of experience what that was like. Played really well for Bonn in Germany, as you were saying, Olgun, but these guys want to come back and play in the NBL. He loves it at the Breakers. He loves representing New Zealand. Jalen Adams wants to come back to the league. Finn Delany wants to come back to the league. I want to see Duop Reath back in the league. It's so good to see these guys coming back.
Well, good segue there, because we talk about performances to wrap day 5. I was in the Cox Pavilion for most of the day. I still run back and forth because I'm trying to do this solo as best I can while you take a day off. You were in Thomas and Mack. What caught your eye?
Duop Reath caught my eye. I mean, Xavier Cooks was great again today, right? 16 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks, led the Wizards in scoring and rebounding. Outstanding, so good from him. But Duop Reath, 10 and 9, 12 and 9, something along those lines. 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks in like 20, 23 minutes. Really impressive from him. And he's been doing that throughout the week, really playing well, impressing. one thing is it bodes beautifully well for the Boomers campaign. He's going to head into the World Cup camp feeling really good, looking really good and playing well. But it also, it puts, if not with the team that he's playing for, but other teams are seeing what he's putting out there. And I tell you, all the NBL teams who still need a big are seeing what he's doing as well. So really cool to see him playing well.
Speaking of Boomers, I was on the other floor, as I mentioned, New Orleans Pelicans. Dyson Daniels did what we had come to expect from Dyson Daniels. He's really solid. He wants to keep playing, wants to get these reps in for Boomers. He had a nice spin and dunk. He was just playing off the ball a little bit more today, but he threw a turnover 50 seconds to go. It should have been a foul called on the opposition. He sized this bloke up from half court, met him at the rim, and that's the kind of plays I think we're looking forward to seeing. I also caught up with the Keanu Pinder. We had a chat. He's more hopeful now of playing in the last game, which we can hope to see. And Barry Brown Jr., he's been electric this week. They rested him. Got a corky yesterday. Hey, the Americans call it something different. I couldn't understand what he was trying to say. Hopefully we see him back in action tomorrow. Olgun, we've talked to a couple of teams. Looks like Brisbane are getting closer as well in terms of finalising. Maybe we get a name out of them the next couple of days.
I think so. We reported yesterday that there is a top three. They've locked some guys in as far as the ones they're chasing. Feels like we're really close. Yesterday I thought we're maybe 24, 48 hours out. Seems like we're tracking in a similar direction. 24 hours out, it feels like that's the case. And on Sydney, I'll just say this. Some of the names that have been thrown at me as guys that they're engaged with to fill that final spot, if you thought that Sydney was going to lose their entire starting lineup and all of a sudden, fall off the map, based on some of the names that they've engaged with and are seemingly getting really close to, I really don't think the Sydney Kings are going anywhere.
Who are these names?
I'll keep that in my pocket for now. There are reasons why things can't be said.
Can you shut down now? Twitter's gone off a little bit. People keep throwing around Paddy Mills. Liam and I had a laugh about it. Can you shut it down?
Paddy Mills, I understand he's been traded and traded and traded. He might get bought out of his contract. Paddy Mills is not the guy that the Sydney Kings are chasing. He's not a guy who's going to be an NBL player in the next year or two. Sorry,
NBL fans, not yet with Paddy Mills. Now tomorrow, the Wolves are back in action. We're hopeful maybe we see Sam Wardenberg, Jalen Galloway got some burn, DJ Hogue back in action. We're going to head inside. It's the Aussie Hoops night. I'm not sure who's going to be MVP. You got to vote for who's going to be MVP. We'll have to figure it out tomorrow.
I think you might give it a whirl.
I've been in bed before midnight every time this week, so maybe I am due to let my hair down. Olgun?
Giddy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. I think Josh Giddey's going to be, and we're going to find out. We're going to get in there. So stay tuned. Everything's coming your way. Halfway through the week, it's all happening here, and we'll see you tomorrow.